Somebody left a comment on my video about Dr. Umar talking about how when have interracial relationships ever benefited us? And like, I really do, as in us as in black people, and I really do think that people misunderstand what relationships are. Like, we don't live in we are not in like 1950s America. Now, I appreciate that because I'm not American at all, and like, the history of black people and interracial marriage and that in the rest of the world is a bit different. But the fact is, no one is currently in 1950s America. So somebody else's interracial relationship cannot benefit you. It can only benefit the two parties in the relationship. It doesn't really have anything to do with you. There is no unless if that's your mom or dad or your rich auntie or rich uncle. I don't see why you think that there's some benefit that's going to come to you. I kind of don't get why people thought that back in the day either. Oh, because people who wanted to date out needed pioneers? Something like that. I'm looking at social issues, not really like political. There is no longer a community there's no longer a specific race-based community that needs to be built through such means. Like, the world is very integrated now. Don't get me wrong, racism still exists, colorism still exists, but like, the world is very integrated now to where most of the things that you don't get, that's not the reason why you didn't get it. I mean, let's say you go to a job interview and the boss decides to hire his friend. Let's say the boss is white, he decides to hire his friend's son. His friend's son is also white. Did you not get the job because you're black? Or did you not get the job because he wanted to hire his friend? This is what I mean. Sometimes people push race into conversations that it doesn't belong in. Like, we're not talking about somebody saying, yeah, I don't hire black people. Or, I don't want them Asians working for me. That's a little different, to somebody picking that. I mean, because that means that it wouldn't matter if you were white. It wouldn't matter how good you were. If the guy decides he's going to pick his friend's son, he's going to pick his friend's son. And here's another one, not to play devil's advocate, but like, if his friend's son was black, he would still get the job over somebody who's white. And then someone who's white would turn around and be like, oh yeah, they just give all the jobs to the minorities. I'm just looking at how, it's the same concept, just flipped. But yeah, other people's relationships really couldn't benefit you in the first place, not in our modern world of today. That doesn't really have anything to do with you. Also, just a little thing I wanted to mention. I'm not sure if it's because I'm Nigerian, but like, I don't know why people seem to forget that just because someone is black does not actually mean that they cannot scam you. Like, oh, you're from the same country, so by default that person will be good to you. No. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Listen, you should make friends with people who are from the same country as you ethnically, since you have like a similar background. You should make friends with people who are the same race as you, since you have all the similarities. But like, that shouldn't be the sole basis of your friend making, because to be quite honest, unless you have common interests and your personalities gel well, there's nothing special there, and it may actually not go that well. I don't know. I have friends from everywhere. I have a lot of black friends. I have a fair few Asian friends. I have some white friends. I have some Latin friends. Some of my friends of other races have outlasted some of my black friends, and vice versa, because people are people. Us having the same racial background doesn't really have much to do with why we get along so well. It just means that we have common stories to share. And also, if you're from like the developing world in general, a lot of the same things take a lot of the same themes happen. So like you can joke about most of the same things with them. So yeah. I mean, of course, I've always had like friends, but like if let's say you happen to be in a space where like, you got black people being weird to you, and for some reason you're just gelling well with some of these people who have other races, don't feel bad. You're not a race traitor. You just happen to be in a space where the personalities you gel with just aren't racially the same as you. That's just it. It'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, all these words like, cause people start calling people coons and all of that for just basically anything. Technically, even I partook in it back in my SJW days. So people just throwing around words without thinking about the real meanings of them. Not thinking about the situations that led people to be where they are.